Hello everyone, I'm going to do a fail racing introduction now, and welcome to the show. If anyone's not seen that channel, go check him out. Fail Race does a lot of GTA content and stuff like that. But anyway, hello everyone and welcome along. Yes, we are back. Let me get my stream up so we can see the comments. It's all very professional here once again. All very professional. Very professional. With me and Mr. TB the Bear. Now I just want to say something, okay? These streams over the next few weeks may be worth watching because something very unusual is going on with my chair. Yes, this chair, when I sit on it now, it makes a very funny sound. And I think it's going to fall apart at any moment. So that could be a live on air moment that could be worth watching. So stay tuned for it because I don't want to look at it in case it does fall apart and I make it worse. But it's definitely making a very funny clanking noise when I move it in a certain position. So yes, could be worth watching. Anyway, hello everyone. Enough of that shit. Oh, it's just done it again. It's just done it again. For me and Mr. TB the Bear, TB the Bear, TB. Needs to go like that, TB, okay? Just don't touch it again. Hello everyone and welcome to the stream from me and Mr. TB Bear, everyone's favourite bear. Yes, that's right. I haven't got anyone to talk to, so I talk to stuffed bears instead. Oh, can anyone still hear me? Because my camera's just frozen. Hello, hello, hello. Let's have a look and see if I'm still on the stream. Because my camera's frozen. There's me from about 5 minutes ago. Ah, you can still hear me. You can still hear. That's good. Okay, right. Please stand by. We are having technical difficulties. Let me reopen the camera. And hopefully it'll have unfreezed itself. There it goes. Yes. Hello everyone. Sorry about that. The camera froze up there and I stopped talking because I didn't know whether the sound had gone as well, but I've just noticed on the stream that it was still running, so everything's good. Everything's good. That wasn't you, was it, TB? Were you mucking around with my settings again? Stop it. You're a naughty, naughty bear. Naughty bear. Stop trying to shut off my video stream. Everyone wants to see me, don't you, everyone? TB. Being a very naughty bear today. Very naughty bear. Yes, you are. I think you better... Yeah, let's put him over there. Put him over there. There you go. Naughty bear. Naughty bear. Shutting off my video stream. Unbelievable scenes. In fact, you could almost call it biblical scenes, couldn't you? Hello, Scott. Welcome to the stream. He says, evening, Dave. Oh, by the way, everyone, I've got an exclusive guest in about 25 minutes. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Yes. I've actually got a guest. Yes, I've actually got a guest. Will F1 Gaming, welcome to the stream. He says, Mr. We Went Car Racing is at this weekend's Australian Grand Prix. Yes, he is indeed. We Went Car Racing. Yes, thank you, Will. Matthew says, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Indeed, indeed. Scott says, on F1 2005 all seasons incident at the Monaco tunnel overtaking Jenson Button. Yes, is that when I fell off my chair? Yes, that was great. I wish I'd had the actual video feed of me doing that because that was great. Yeah, I almost shat myself. But it was voice only because I don't like to put myself on the all seasons because I think it sort of detracts away from what's going on the track because you're too busy looking at my ugly mug. So that's why I only do voiceovers on that. Matthew says, can still hear you. Yeah, thanks, Matt. I managed to sort it out by looking across the laptop and seeing that the sound was still on. So that's all good. Anyway, we've reset it now, so it's all good. Will says, Toto, it's called a motor race, okay? We went car racing. Yes, we did indeed. Right, let's have a look at the thumbnail. What did I put down this week? F1 is back, baby. Top 3 predictions. Here we go. So we return to Australia, which past few years now has become a little bit of a Monza type circuit. Now they've removed that chicane. It seems to be a very fast flowing circuit in Australia. I do have to admit that I do like it. But yeah, it's certainly turning away from a sort of medium downfall circuit. Sometimes even a high downfall setup was good for Australia. You're definitely going now into the medium downfall setup, maybe even slightly lower, because it's now very much more high speed, which I do like. But yes, Australia, land of the didgeridoos, yes, kangaroos, and Rolf Harris. Oh. Let's move on from that. Yes. So it's Australia back on the calendar again for this year. Great to see, because Australia is an iconic circuit because it was always the start of every F1 season. That's why a lot of people get bored with it, because on all the F1 games you always started in Australia. It was like, can't be bothered with it. But still a great circuit. And of course, over the years, it's shifted off the calendar. It's been moved back, it's been moved forward, it's been moved all over the place, to be honest. And of course, it's been cancelled for a few years as well, which sort of gives us some more enthusiasm for the circuit now, because they've done a few changes on it as well. So it really is a circuit that you can say is a great one to race at the moment. Just J-Mo's in the chat. Hello, he says, hello, I'm Lulu. Lulu. Poor Lulu. I'm getting beat by my teammate, but he's just lucky. He is just lucky. That's what it is. It's nothing to do with the fact that he's a lot younger and his talent is a bit more than Hamilton's at the moment, because, you know, he's getting old, isn't he? He's getting old. Fucking old man. He'll need his pipe and slippers soon, won't he? What is he, 37? 38? Oh my God. You youngsters looking at this will be going, oh God, how can he still be alive? How can he still be alive at 38? Surely he must have died by now. Because that's how all you youngsters speak, isn't it, eh? Get past 38 and it's, what? How did he do that then? Surely he must. You like the way I'm talking? That's good, ain't it? Surely he must be dead by now, Lou. Will F1 Gaming says Lewis Hamilton is a melt. Really? Surely not. Bono, my talent has gone, Bono. Did you get my pizza? What about my dry cleaning? Did you get my dry cleaning? Because I've got to have clothes that make me look good, Bono, so I can post it on Instagram. Yeah, have you seen my latest one on Instagram? Oh, that's smashing, that is, Bono. That's smashing. That's my best picture ever, that is, Bono. You see my knees? You see my little knobbly knees? Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Yeah, love it. Matthew says, leave Hamilton alone. We love him, Matt. We love him. And we want him to continue in the sport for at least another 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe another 20 years, because we don't ever want him to go, because if he goes, we'll have no one to take the mickey out of. You know, I mean, Max, can't really take the piss out of Max, can you? There's not really much there, is there? You could say, ooh, bit of an arse, but that's about it. And we'll look at all the rest down the grid. Where can you take? But Lulu, it's like his own little entity in his own self, isn't he? He's just like, yes, I can't stop myself. I just can't stop myself. Poor little Lulu. Poor little Lulu. Now, everyone, don't forget to save the planet. Save the planet. Yes. Stop driving around your cars. Stop driving around your cars and save the planet. I'm off now. I'm just putting some more fuel in my Mercedes. Okay, it was a little bit low. Down to 50 gallons it was, so I thought I'd top it up a bit. But don't forget, save the planet. Stop driving around in cars. No, you'll destroy the planet if you keep doing that. I'm off now. In my I filled it up. 200 gallons it took to fill this up. 200 gallons. Wow. It don't matter. Yeah, I don't even look at the receipt, to be honest. I just swipe my card and go. I don't care. No. Why would I care? Yeah. Got lots of money. I don't need to care about fuel, do I? I just swipe the card. Don't even look at it. It could be £1,000 of fuel. I don't know. Who cares? Don't forget, save the planet. Save the planet. Matthew says, "Lol, whoever I support gets cursed these days." That's quite true, Matt. Now let's look at it. Lewis Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel. Who is it you're supporting? Let's not. Let's just move on. Just JMO says Russell's reply to Lewis Hamilton interview was probably the best reply I've ever seen since Horner saying to Toto, "If you have a problem, change your fucking car." Yes, I do agree. Matthew says, especially last few years, Ricardo, that was the other one, wasn't it? Yeah, that was a good one to support, wasn't it? Yeah, Daniel, whatever happened to that? Okay, let's move on swiftly. Vettel. Oh my God, that's. I have to say, Matt, that's like looking in your little black book at your ex-girlfriends, isn't it? Really, Daniel Ricciardo. All right. Vettel. She was all right. And Hamilton. Yeah, I quite liked her. Hello, Mr. Iron Patriot. Welcome to the stream. And Mr. Plynor Plessy. Oh, I've missed Mr. Plynor Plessy. He was up there earlier. He says F1, where you can't practice and you can't put your fist out on the track whenever a driver finishes in the top three. I know, it's ridiculous. Now, the question I've got is, if there's going to be no more practice sessions, how on earth are we going to earn our resource points in the F1 games? What's going to happen then? The whole structure of F1 games is going to collapse because there'll be no resource. All we'll get is those little tiny ones we get for qualifying. Yes. I seem to remember they used to give you resource points for actually doing the races as well, but I don't do it no more. No, I do lots of races and I don't get no points for it. Or is it just because I'm really bad? I'm not quite sure, but I don't get no points for races. I only get points for practice and for qualifying. Yes. So what are we going to do, gamers? What are we going to do? What is Codemasters going to do if they abolish the practice sessions? How are we going to get those resource points? What are we going to do? Run around the track on unicycles? Unbelievable. Oh wait, I know what they'll do. They'll just have all the practice sessions running those stupid twatty supercars, won't they? Yes, that's it. Oh yeah, do 3 laps in a supercar and you'll get a 500 resource points. Fantastic. You know what I think they should do, personally, and that's to scrap the resource points entirely. Because I don't see the point in it anymore. In the F1 games, just put it in there, but have the teams do it automatically, so you haven't got to go out there or even press any buttons, because it's resource point. It was a good idea. When they started it in 2016, and it's developed. We got the tree of resource points that, you know, you could see a big tree of all your developments, and I quite liked the idea. I really did. Going through 2016. They expanded it for 2017, then 2018, but then 2019 it's just recycled, and then 2020 is just recycled, and then 2021 they tried to revamp it all, and that didn't work at all because it just confuses the hell out of me now. I haven't got a clue what's going on. Not a clue. I don't know what any of the development bits mean anymore. Not a clue. And then for 2022 they just basically copy pasted 2021, and I just don't see the point of all the developments anymore. It's just I mean, keep the developments in, but just don't have us do it because it's not worth it. Just just let us go out and do qualifying and do the racing and just because it's just pointless now. But it is. It's just boring, and it's a game mode that they need to just get rid of now. I say still have the fact that you've got to build your car up. I haven't got a problem with that because otherwise the career mode would be very boring because you could just start with a really decent car and start winning all the races really quickly. So yeah, do all the building your car up stuff, but just have it done automatically now by the team mechanics and what have you, and don't let us bother with it because it's a no mode anymore. It's just really it's pointless. I mean, as a so-called content creator, which I hate the name of and I don't like using, but as a content creator, it just wastes time for me having to do all that development stuff before I get into the qualifying the race, because that's all I ever show on screen. I maybe do like 10 seconds of the resource point stuff on screen, and that's it. All the rest is just the qualifying the races. So it's stupid for me. But out of that 10 seconds, some of that stuff takes me like 5, 10, 15 minutes to sort out. And so it's ridiculous. So yeah, just get rid of it now. We don't need it. We just don't need it. But yeah, so Stefano Di Montecarli. Yes, Stefano Di Montecarli. He was at some dinner or something. I can't remember. I remember reading it, but I can't remember where he was. Some sort of, I think he was at a MotoGP event or something like that anyway. And he said, yeah, thinking about getting rid of the practice sessions because they're great for the engineers and the mechanics, but they don't do anything for the watching fans. And I don't know about that, to be honest. Yeah, all right, they're pretty boring, but if you've spunked up, I don't know what it is these days, £425 for a complete all-exclusive ticket for the whole of the Grand Prix weekend, yeah, there'd be no point in going on Friday, would there? Because nothing would be going on. So you don't have like Saturday and Sunday. And Friday, it's good just to sit there and soak up the atmosphere. If you've taken a few friends with you as well, you can sit there and talk to them while the practice is going on, and you see a few cars going around. It's like, it's like going to a concert, isn't it? It's all the atmosphere and everything else. So to get rid of it, I think is a bit of a stupid idea, to be honest. And I hope to dear God it doesn't go down that path and actually become a thing. And I mean, the thing they need to get rid of more than anything else is those stupid sprint races because they're just pointless. So getting rid of practice as well. I mean, what next are they going to get rid of? Are they going to get rid of qualifying next? And we're just going to have a random grid order start, I mean, I could really see the next 10 years they're thinking about the length of the grid races and they'll be going, yeah, I think these races are getting a little bit too long. Well, let's just make them 50%. 50%, yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. I see a worrying trend here as well because when I watch the races, everything seems to be the build-up now. And the race, I've said this before a couple of weeks ago, the race seems to be pushed off to one side. It's like, oh, for God's sake, we're supposed to better do this race now because they're so interested in getting all your cash first and all your interest in the build-up that the race seems to be getting pushed further and further to when it's the race, which is the most important thing about the whole weekend. Yes, well, it's supposed to be, unless it's a boring one, but it's supposed to be the most important thing. But it's definitely getting pushed to the side, and I just hope to dear God that this doesn't happen and we get rid of practice, because practice is very, very important. It's part of the race weekend. Now, when I used to watch Formula One and it was available to me and I was like 100% obsessed with it, I used to watch every single session and every single minute of every single session. So I used to watch all the practice sessions, qualifying and the race as well. And I loved every single minute of it. So to take that huge chunk of practice away, it's a stupid idea. And also it's where the mechanics and the engineers set the car up. So that otherwise, if you take that away, they're going to go straight into qualifying, not knowing the best setup for the car. And that's ridiculous. You don't want that at all to go into qualifying. You want the cars to go into qualifying knowing that they've got a good chance of, getting a good starting position in the race. You don't want them to go in and like the qualifying. The only way that would work is if they brought back the 1 hour qualifying session. Then they could just constantly keep going out over that hour and keep, using the qualifying session basically as a practice session. going out, tweaking the car, let's do a bit of this, do a bit of that, twiddle these suspension geometry or whatever. That would work. But they'd have to do it for an hour. There's no way you could do that in an 18-minute qualifying session, even though it's spread over, three segments. There's no way that you could get your car set up in the time, because you're supposed to be putting in a qualifying, you're supposed to be putting in a fast time. You don't need to worry about the car setup because that's all done during practice. So yeah, to get rid of practice is a humongously stupid idea, and hopefully that was just Stefano Di Monacarli with too many sherries at his MotoGP event or something like that. He must have been pretty drunk, because that's stupid, absolutely stupid. Matthew says, especially last few years, Ricciardo... Oh, sorry, I read that one. Plano Pletti says, I'm hearing a rumour saying that Stefano Di Monacarli said F1 could have up to 30 races next season. I hope not. I hope not as well, because 30 is ridiculous. Absolutely. It's just, that's the trouble though. It's American have taken it over, and they're trying to do it like NASCAR, aren't they? They're just trying to bung in as many rounds as they can. But I seriously don't think 30 would work anyway in terms of the calendar. There just isn't enough every other weekends to put it in. Now, obviously, they could do it every weekend, but then you get this saturation effect and people get a little bit fed up because it's like, oh God, F1's on again and again. Just look at the 2020 season. Of course, they had to cram 17 races into a very, very short calendar, and you ended up with, I think, during 2020, there was one situation where we had four rounds over 4 weeks. I think that was because, as I say, because of COVID, they had to get 17 in. So we had 4 weeks of 4 races, and it was starting to get a little bit... I mean, we were really hyped up for it to start, and it didn't start till July. So we were hyped up for it to start again. But when it did, it became a little bit too much. So 30 races is a little bit ridiculous, and I don't see how it's going to work in terms of the calendar. They can't really extend the calendar anymore because you've got the testing in February, so it really can't start until March, and it's really going to end sometime in November. Obviously, they did have, I think it was last year or the year before, when the season actually finished on the 12th of December, I think it was. Very, very late, very, very late finish. But those kind of things don't happen very often. And of course, this year's calendar and last year's calendar was basically fitted into a standard schedule. And last year's, of course, finished in November. And I think this year's finishes in November as well. So to get 30 races in there, I mean, one thing's for sure, there's no way you'd be able to fit in a summer break of 3 weeks. There isn't enough weeks on a calendar for you to do that. I mean, there's only 52 weeks in a year. And they're off for, 12 weeks before they come back again. So if you do the maths on that, to get 30 races in, you pretty much have to do one every single week. You'd have to. I'm just trying to work out my maths. Yeah. 12 weeks. Yeah, you would definitely have to do at least one every single week. And that's not going to happen for the flyaway races where you've got a very long way to travel, because sometimes it takes them a week just to get there. So, yeah, with all the, the transporters and whatever, it takes them a long time. So, I mean, don't forget, when they leave the circuit, they're still working till about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, Sunday night, packing everything up. And then if it's a race where they've got to go to the next one next week, they don't actually get there until the following Thursday. So do that every single week, and that's just not going to work. Not going to work. Iron Patriot says, first win for Alonso is coming. Yes, I think you're right. If something happens to Max's car, he gets a failure, an engine failure, well, out of 23 races, it's pretty assured that he's going to get an engine failure in at least one race. It's going to happen, because all the cars, I think, at some point get at least one failure in a year. So, yeah, if he gets a failure, and Checo's maybe has a few problems with a stuck nut on his pit stop and he loses 10 seconds, there's a very good chance Alonso, if he keeps up with his form, he could get a win. And oh my God, the Alonso supporters will just lose their shits, won't they? Oh my God, I can just imagine it now. But yeah, so I'm not discounting that at all. Oh, Jamie's top 3 predictions, by the way, is Max, Perez and Russell. Thanks, Jamie. Nice one. After 10 years. Yeah, that would be great to see, I'll tell you. Planet Places says Alonso will only win if the Red Bulls both do it. Yeah, that's true. Or, as I say, if Perez has a problem in the pit stop where, dodgy wheel nut or whatever, and he gets held up for 10 seconds, then that would be a good chance for Fernando Alonso to get a win. But I'll say Max has also got to come out of that race as well. Otherwise, no chance. But let's not discount it. It could happen this year at some point. Because as I say, at least every car has at least one engine failure. So it could happen. Scott says, when I do the resource points, I think I'm going to research some custard creams. Yes, do indeed. Will F1 gave it to 6 sprint races this year as well. Oh, God. Really? I just don't see the point. I'll tell you why I don't see the point of sprint racing. Because it's not really a race. Because they all have to take it easy because they don't want to destroy their car for the race. So they're just tiptoeing about, aren't they? Going, oh, don't get too close to me. Don't get too close. So it's pointless. It's pointless. It's like those football matches where they have the friendly games just before they have like the main games, and you can see that the guys are out on the pitch and they're like going, oh, don't get too close, don't get too close, I don't want to get an injury, don't want to get it. And that's exactly what it looks like in these sprint races. You can see they're tiptoeing around each other because they don't want to damage the car. So it's pointless. Yeah, just no, get rid of it. Matthew says, who would Red Bull fans rather win, Perez or Verstappen? Yeah, that's a good point. I think most Red Bull fans would probably say Max. I can't speak for them, but I think that's probably what they'd say. Just JMO says, Max, but I do have so much respect for Sergio, by far the best pairing in F1. Media tried to hype up rivalry, but they are cool. They know what they're doing. Yeah, I agree with you there. It is a good pairing. I'm actually watching the 2012 season right now, and Sergio Perez, I think he's in the, what's he in? He's in the Sauber, I think it's the Sauber, and it just seems weird seeing him on there like 10 years ago, it's Sergio Perez. Will F1 Game says 2020 had 4 triple headers. 4 triple headers. There you go. I thought there may have been a quad in there, but obviously not. But 4 triple headers. That's a lot of races in a very short period of time. So you're going to have the same thing if you get 30 races in a season, and it's just not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work because, as I say, they got a 12-week break in between the seasons. So it's not going to. I mean, you do the maths. Okay. So you're going to have what, 40 weeks to put in 30 races. Not good. And 9 races in 11 weeks. Yeah, that was a great achievement in 2020. I have to admit, it was a great achievement. We all thought actually that it was all over and done. I remember Lulu even said, no, sorry guys, there's not going to be F1 this year. But he was just hoping, I think. He was just hoping. But yeah, it was a great achievement to get 17 rounds in that very, what was it? 11 weeks. Wow. 9 races we had in 11 weeks. Wow. But to get like 17 races in that very small amount of time. As I say, they didn't start, was it July? I think it was, wasn't it? They started. And they were still done by, was it December? Yeah, I think it was late December, yeah. But they were still done by then. So that was a great achievement. Great achievement indeed. Matthew says, I like Perez. Hope he stepped up to Verstappen this season. Don't like Joss. Oh, the father, yeah. Yeah. Well, I spoke about Josh quite in depth last week, I remember. So, Dirty Christappen says, I am Patriot 2021. Sorry. Florida Place says F1 was better when they had just 16, 17 races. Yeah, I do agree. That 16 to 17 is the ideal sort of sweet spot for Grand Prix because it was like one every fortnight and it was something that you look forward to. You were like, oh, F1's on this week, whereas now it's F1's on again this week. I know there's been a 2-week gap, but it still gets to a point during the season when as soon as the summer starts up when they're gonna be doing the one after the other for quite a few weeks, and then we start getting, oh god, it's back. Especially if it's going to be a whitewash season, which it looks like it's going to be. I mean, Max Verstappen could have the championship. I mean, this is a very, very bold prediction, but Max could have the championship sewn up by Silverstone. I don't think he will, but it's possible. Oh my god, just think of that. Scott Barnes says, on 2012, that was happy memories for me, especially China. Yes. Yeah, 2012 was a great season. So I'm about 3/4 of the way through that one at the moment. I Am Patriot says, 1989, 1991, 1997, 2007, 2010, best F1 years. Yes, sir. And you've got 97 in there, so that makes you a super fan, because I agree with you totally. 1997, it was the year that I really got into F1 100%. I mean, I've been watching it anyway from like the early 90s, but sporadically. But 94 was actually when I started watching it, like full seasons, the whole lot, the whole kit and caboodle. But 97 for me was one of my favourite seasons. Really was a great season, I have to admit. Will F1 Games says 17 races in 23 weeks in 2020. Season finished December the 13th. There you go. That's a very tight time scale, isn't it? 17 races in 23 weeks. Just think about that. That is basically pretty close to one a week, with about, 1, 2, maybe 3 races with fortnight gaps, but pretty much one a week. So that was a great achievement. Great achievement, I have to say. But that's 17 races. Now you're talking about 30. Just imagine that. That would be pretty much impossible. Matthew says, will there be F1 sprint races in the ERL in the future? I don't know, Matt. I don't know. I mean, we got sprint races on 22, but it's never been spoken about, so I'm not so sure. Don't hold your breath. Planet Places says 1989 was one of the best seasons. 29 drivers, I think, scoring points. Yes, there was a lot of drivers. And of course, you had pre-qualifying back in those days. Yes, you had to qualify to get into qualifying. That was the... Yeah. All these kids these days, they wouldn't even know about those statistics. Yeah, pre-qualified. Because you had so many drivers, it was unbelievable. And you had to pre-qualify just to get into the qualifying. We should do that in the ERL, yeah. I'd never get in them, would I? I Am Patriot says Dirty Schumacher of 1994 and 1997. Yes, indeed. Yep. Yeah, I remember the 94 season very well because obviously I was rooting for Damon Hill. And to me, Michael Schumacher, he was like the enemy. And 97 as well, of course, when he hit Jacques Villeneuve as well. So, yeah, not good. But great seasons. Scott says, if there were 30 races in the season, the amount of times I go to the toilet, but the lights go out, boy, I would go to the toilet more than I had hot dinners. Yeah, exactly. I Am Patriot says, 1989, indeed. Yes, it was. Great year, that was 89. Scott says 2007 to 2010 era was epic. Yeah, I agree with you there. First year for Lulu, of course. Lulu in 2007. Just a shame we didn't get any F1 games, isn't it? Because that would have been great a compliment. But there you go. Thank you, Bernie Ecclestone, for putting the spanner in the works on that one. But yeah, it's just a shame. Final Pletty says 39 entrants and pre-qualifying. 39 entrants. There you go. Yeah, 39 drivers competing for. How many was it on the grid? Was it? I think it was 26, wasn't it? If I remember rightly, 26. Yeah, so you had 39 qualifying for 26 places, and so they had to go out and pre-qualify. And the bottom, whatever, because I can't do maths, the bottom lot out of the pre-qualifying were out. And that was it. They took no further part in the Grand Prix until the next one. Can you imagine that happening now? Yeah? Oh, I'm sorry. Who should we pick on? Someone who's... Lance! I'm sorry, Lance. No, I shouldn't pick on Lance because he's doing pretty well. Who should we pick on? Oh, Pastry. Yeah, there we go. Pastry, he's doing crap. Oh, I'm sorry, Pastry. You haven't qualified and you're out. No, no more. No. Just imagine, though, if there was pre-qualifying, the McLarens, they wouldn't be in right now, would they? They'd be gone. Wow, that would be a disaster. So, yeah. It was great to see. I wish they'd bring that back. 2006 was epic as well. Yes, it was. It was so much better than 2005 anyway, because, of course, they had the tyres that had to last the whole Grand Prix, if anyone remembers that. Oh, God, that was a really so-so season, and thankfully they got rid of that straight away into 2006. There was just no excitement during the 2005 season. I mean, there was the Kimi Raikkonen whose tyres completely exploded because they'd had enough. That's about it. That's the only excitement you got. That's terrible. Planet Places says Aguri Suzuki failed to pre-qualify for every race in 1989. Oh dear. It's a bit like old Ricardo Rossi wasn't there, because he'd have definitely failed every single pre-qualifying, wouldn't he? Ricardo Rossi. Hello, Briani Perez. New here. Can you explain what you do? I love the enthusiasm. Well, thank you and welcome along. What do I do? Not a lot. I basically just... this is a F1 YouTube channel where I do career modes, mostly. I also take the piss a lot, yes, out of a certain big channel called WTF1. I'm trying to sell myself here and I'm doing a terrible job. Yeah, I'm also a superb league racer. Yes, always winning. Yes, I'm sort of top tier league racer as well. That's not really. I really am terrible at selling myself. What else do I do? And I do these podcasts every Thursday at about 8:30 for an hour, whatever's, and where I talk about Formula One as well. So welcome along indeed, Brianna Perez. But that's basically what I do. Yes, not very well. Matthew says, "What's so special about the 1997 season?" It was just magical, Matt. That was Matt, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. It was just magical. It really was. I think most of it was to do with the fact that ITV took over the coverage, and they really put on a show. Every single race was spectacular. It really was. They had so much. They ploughed a lot of money into it. Let's put it like this, and that was one of the things I really enjoyed about it. But the racing was really good as well, I have to say. And of course, we saw the sort of lacking of pace of the Williams, because the Williams started strong, but then towards the sort of middle of the season, it started to lose momentum. And this was like everyone was sort of going, "Oh my God, is this the end for Williams?" Well, we saw what happened to Williams in 1998, but this was the start of it, because Williams had been so dominant throughout all the years before that. So that sort of brought another air of, what's going on here with Williams. But the season as a whole was just, I don't know, it's hard to quantify it or to put it into words, but it was just a really good season. Planet Player says 26 cars, 30 were in qualifying. That's it, 26 cars, yeah. The fastest 4 at pre-qualifying got into the main qualifying session. There you go. Nick my fries, says Matthew. Yes, nick my fries. Scott Barnes says 1997, the start of F1 ITV until 2008. I really, really miss F1 ITV, but I have the feeling in 5 to 8 to 10 years, it's gone. My fingers are crossed. It may. We'll fingers crossed on that one. It may. Player Player says the legendary Williams #1 got his first and only world title. Also, 9 teams out of the 11, 12 if you count Lola, got a podium finish. Remember that? Yes, that's quite true. Brianna Perez says, what are the rules on qualifying? Well, is that current or in the past? At the moment, we're talking about the past, which was back in like 1989. You had pre-qualifying when you had, as Blizzard Primal Plessy says, you had 30 in qualifying. And the fastest 4 at pre-qualifying got into the main qualifying session. Then you had the qualifying session. Now, the qualifying session back then was usually, if I remember rightly, I think it was an hour session. And there was now this, going out at certain times. You could go out any time during the hour session and put in the fastest, and you could do anything to your car as well. Just, go for it. And but these days, qualifying is made up of 3 sessions. And what happens is you get eliminated the slowest that you are. So like I think it's 16 to 20, isn't it, or 15 to 20 in the first session, which is 18 minutes long. Get eliminated. Then it goes into session 2, and you get a 15-minute session, and then the next 5 or 6 get eliminated. The bottom 5 or 6, and then you end up with the top 10, which you then go into the final session of the qualifying, which is a 12-minute session, and the fastest out of that gets pole position for the race. So that's basically the qualifying. Now, that qualifying format that I've just mentioned has been going for a very long time now, very, very long time indeed. It's been tweaked, it's been fiddled with, it's been, I don't know, experimented on changing, but thankfully they seem to have left it alone at the moment. So hopefully, anyway, they've left it alone. But I think they should just leave the qualifying as it is now, because there's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't need fixing. It does the job. So let's just leave the qualifying alone. Because be assured, if they're talking about getting rid of practice, it won't be long before they start looking at qualifying again and think, ooh, what can we do to this? Just leave it, FIA. Leave it, because it works fine. It works fine as it is. Iron Patriot says 1997 dirty Ferrari and Schumacher strategy for the title. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Scott Barnes says a big unfair Oliver Pastry. He's a rookie, but Lando is struggling at the moment. I know. I couldn't think of one of the others that was so far down the grid, to be honest. I could have picked Logan Sargent to be fair in the Williams, but yeah, it's just the first one out of my head, Scott. So yeah. So apologies to Pastry. Just Jamie says 97 Villeneuve won it, last Williams win. Yes, you're right there, Jamie. And of course in 98 Williams came along and the car was a complete disaster, and I still blame the fact that they changed the livery to Winfield Williams, the red and white. I still say that's why the car did so badly. No, that wasn't it, but I just hated it. And that, sadly, was the start of the downturn for Williams, which was a steady decline. I mean, they've had peaks and troughs. They've got up a little bit before. I remember there was a few years when they were starting to come back up again and they started dropping again. But definitely from 1998, that was the start of the very slow, because once you've got an established team and you've been on the grid for many years, you don't suddenly drop from the top right the way down to the bottom, because you've got engineering, you've got development and everything else inbuilt into the team. So it's like a smooth running engine, So you're not going to drop that far down. But that was 98 was the start of the very, very slow decline for Williams. As I say, they then they did come up. Don't forget with BMW, 2000, 2001, 2003, I think it was as well. They were definitely up there. They had some decent drivers. Of course, they had Juan Pablo, didn't they, and Ralph Schumacher. They had some decent drivers, so they definitely resurged back up again. But as I say, it's been like a roller coaster. They've been up and down, up and down. But 98 was definitely the turning point for Williams when they started to, go into a decline. Now, before anyone says, I do know that also Williams had a huge decline in 1998, but that was because they had a little dispute with, I can't remember who their engine supplier was at the time. It was either Renault or Honda. They had a dispute and they lost the engine deal, so they had to go with Judd engines for 1988, and they were basically very underperforming, and so Williams, but apart from that, Williams have been up there through the 80s and the 90s until 98, which is when their decline started. Scott Barnes says, the tosser. Absolutely. Iron Patriot says, Schumacher continues his dirty work on 2006 at Monaco. Yes, he did. Yes, I remember that. Dirty, dirty, dirty. 2012 was the last win for Williams. There you go, 2012. Yeah, so they had a good run. 2012, wowzers. Will F1 Games says Michael Schumacher and Villeneuve never shared a podium in 1997. Brianna Perez says, don't have to read aloud, but thanks for the engagement. It goes a long way, and you have a new sub, by the way. You're awesome. Well, thank you, Brianna. Thank you very much, and welcome along. Plynor Plessy says, a shame that Lola didn't get into the F1 97 game. They should have put it in as a cheat code. Yeah, they should have done. In MotoGP 07, they have the Ilmor GP team, which pulled out after the first race of the actual 2007 season in Qatar. Interesting. Brianna Perez says, you said they could do anything to their cars then, so are all the cars built the same now? No, Brianna, all the cars, well, they're built to the same regulations, yeah, but they've all got different engines in them. They've all got different interpretations of the chassis, and the wings are open to their own team's interpretations of obviously they have to go to a standard that's set by the FIA, but within that standard there's lots of little tweaks that they can do to, like, parts on the car, the bodywork. I say the engines all come from different manufacturers. You've got Mercedes, you've got Honda, and Ferrari, of course, got their own and stuff like that. So yeah, they're not built. It's not like I think it's now. Is it now? I don't follow NASCAR, so I'm sorry. I think is it NASCAR where the cars are completely stock, which means every single part on the car is the same. I think that's how it works. I know it's one of the American series where that is what it is. And so, yeah, every car's the same. But in F1, no. Apart from, if you see them on track, the cars are all the same. There's lots going on within that car that is completely different. If you look at each individual team's interpretations of the rules, like the way the downforce and everything and the way the car flows, it's all completely different. And it's how each individual designer works out the car. They have to go to a set load of rules, but they can interpret them how they want to and put other little sort of tweaks on the car. So no, they're not all made the same. No. Matthew says, this channel is the best F1 channel for fan engagement. Well, thank you, Matt. I try my best. Hookster rarely ever misses a comment, whereas other big F1 YouTubers reply to 1 or 2 comments a month on average. I noticed that. They'll use the excuse that, oh, there's so many comments, I can't get through them all. Yeah, that's I'll say that would work. If I was a big YouTuber, then I'd get thousands of comments, and yes, I I wouldn't be able to get through them all. But what I'd do is I'd spend 5 minutes every single video and I'd just go through a selection and maybe heart the comment or just leave, a quick reply, because it only takes 5 minutes and you are still engaging with this is what really gets my goat out about WTF1. They release a video where they're asking questions in the video, yeah, and people are answering the questions in the comments, and there's nothing from WTF1 themselves. Not a single heart to any of the comments or anything. So I'm like, what's the point? What's the point of it? This is also what I say. If people take the time to leave a comment for you, it means they've taken time out of their day to sit there and type a comment out to you. Then it only seems courteous for me, to reply to that comment. Obviously, as I say, if I was a big YouTuber with thousands of comments, I wouldn't be able to reply to all of them. But I'd still take 5 minutes just to go through a few of them and just go, right, I'll do that one. So that other people looking at the comments can see that there is some interaction between me and you, which is what YouTube is all about. Surely that's why I do these live streams, so that I get interaction between me and you. Otherwise I wouldn't bother. There's no way I'd do a live stream, yeah, and not talk to anyone in the comments, just sit here talking my usual crap and not saying anything. I wouldn't bother, because what's the point? And yet I see this all the time from YouTubers. They just sit there and there's obviously, the big ones, there's fans of message can't screen, and you can't keep up with it. That's fair enough. But they never reply or to any of them. Not any of them. Because they're just so big now, we don't need to, we're so big. And it's just stupid. Just, God's sake, just put 2 replies on 2 comments. At least the other people looking at your video underneath in the comments, they can see that there's some interaction from you. It's not too much to ask, is it? That's what I say. Anyway. WF1 Game says Norberto Fontana. Oh yes, I remember him. Williams had heroes driving for them. Yes, they did. Was the driver ordered to hold up Villeneuve? Oh yes. WF1 Game says splitting with BMW at the end of 2005 was the real downfall and decline of Williams. Yes, I do agree with you there. It was a very, very funny situation that they left so suddenly as well, BMW. And they had a car manufacturing plant over here which employed thousands of workers, and they just packed that all up and went as well. So lots of people lost their jobs in this country making BMW cars. So it was very, very weird, and it was done very quickly. I don't know. I just got a feeling that something was going on there for them to pull out that quick. I know they then went to Sauber, but it just seemed so strange. It just felt to me like a massive falling out between BMW and Williams, that there was no way back, and they just said, no, that's it, we're done. Iron Patriot says, who was the driver already one lap behind, ordered by Ferrari to hold up Villeneuve in 97? No, I think we've got him answered earlier, so there you go. As Billy Ocean once said, says Planel Plessy, red light spells danger. I think the red livery was the beginning of Williams' downfall. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. Yeah, I really do. I really do. I know it was for sponsorship reasons, but it was just, couldn't they have found a blue sponsor, for God's sake? It was just no. And I just hated the look of the car. It wasn't a Williams. A Williams is not red and white. It's not. A McLaren's red and white. I could have gone with that if a McLaren had been red and white. But the Williams, just no. It's always been blue. The Williams has always been blue, and that's their iconic colour. Blue, with a bit of yellow and a bit of black and some white in it as well. That's been their sort of 4 main colours. So you can fiddle around with that, no problem. But red and white, I was like, what's this? What's this? And of course, as we all know, the car was so underperforming. It was unbelievable. Really was. Really was. Scott Barnes says, I think Steve Ryder said that was a naughty performance for Michael in Monaco 2006. Yes, indeed. I think he was being a bit polite there. Schumacher's dirtiness was equal to his driving talent. Will F1 Gaming says the Moaning Yorkshireman is better for fan engagement. Okay, whatever you say. Drum Tank, he says Hook. Sorry, Dave. Ha 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 ha. It's all right. If that's what you think, then that's fine. I haven't got a problem with that. Hook, Dominic, Hookster. Hey, Will. Where is my interview? Oh yes, sorry, Dom. I completely forgot. Bloody hell, it's been an hour. I've been waffling. I was going to interview Dom, and I forgot. I'm sorry. Let me just read the rest of the comments. Now, Dom, what did the Canadians do in Australian qualifying last year? Better engagement, says Plonald Plessy, than the BBC Radio 2, where a listener eating rice for the first time is considered entertainment. Brianna Perry says, I hope you know when you get big, we remember. Oh, I will. Don't worry, Brianna. I'll still be answering messages. And I say, I can't see that I will get big, but if it ever happens, I'll still be answering messages. Don't worry. And comments. Probably not as many, but if you look down, you'll see some from me, so they'll still be there. Matt, you're dead right. Also, not sure where you're from, but here in the US, Hondas are fart boxes. Kind of crazy to hear they're in F1. I am in the UK, Brianna. In the UK, yes. The Moaning Yorkshireman is a YouTube goat, says Will F1 Gaming. Well, when Williams started, says Plonald Plessy, they were white, then went blue and yellow in 1985 till 1993, blue and white from 1994 to 1997, red for 2 seasons, and mainly blue ever since, aside from the Martini livery. Yes. You will, you're awesome. Well, thank you, Brianna Perez. That's very kind of you to say so. Now, I'm going to have to break off here because I've completely forgotten. I've left him hanging for the last half an hour because I said I'd meet him in half an hour, and it's now, yeah, okay. Right. Let's get rid of my lovely face. I'm sorry, Dom. It's my own fault. I just keep waffling, and I forget. But yeah, I was supposed to have done it half an hour ago. We're a bit late. He won't care. He won't care. Right, where are we? Here we are. Let's talk to an actual real No! No! I don't believe it. Try that again. No! Oh no, I restarted my computer before I came on air. Why are you doing this to me, Facebook? Why are you doing this to me? I was a good boy. I reset my computer before and now you're... Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Let me put myself back on. Let's do that a minute. Oh dear. Tonight we have technical difficulties. If anyone doesn't know, I do all this live and I've got no special buttons to press here. It's all done by myself, and so occasionally things do go wrong, unfortunately. Let's give it another go. No, it's still not working. I don't believe it. What's the other message say? Restarting Chrome or restarting your computer? I did that. I did that before I came on air. I restarted it. I restarted. Oh, why are you doing this to me? I restarted it. No. I can't restart Chrome because I'm streaming, you plum. How am I supposed to restart Chrome? I'm bloody streaming on Chrome. You bloody plums. Oh. 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 Thanks, Brianna. Plumper says Honda won't be in F1 much longer when Ford returned to partner Red Bull. Something went wrong. Don't know what happened. They're the technology. This is WTF1 levels of preparation. It is. It is. It's funny. I'm now at that level. Yes, I'm now at that level. Unbelievable. Brianna says Honda's in F1 and not Ford, the Godfather. Yeah, all right, Drum. You don't get this level of drama anywhere else. No, I've never seen that error message. You've never seen. I've seen it a lot. I do see it a lot. It's very weird. Very weird. Hang on, let's see if I can confuse the hell out of it. Da, 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 da. Da. Right, okay, so I've got the error message. Now let's turn myself off. And now let's try it again. La la la. No! Don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Oh. Yeah, try and ring me, Dom, right now and see what happens. I don't think it'll work though. But give it a try and see what happens. La 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 la. La 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 la. Do it, Dom. Now Dommy Stroll going to use his brain in Australia this week. Oh. No, it's only ringing on my tablet. It's not ringing on the main screen. Yeah, I got you, Dom, but only on the main screen. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, he is. Accept. Come on, accept. Hang on. It's my face. No, my face isn't. No, it's not working, Dom. It's not working. It's not working, Dom. It's not working. It's not working. I can get him on here. Where's he gone? Why isn't he on? Hello? Why is it not? Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute, everyone. I may have thought of a way around it. Come on. Come on. Hello? Hello?
Oh my God! Hello?
Hello?
Oh man, I had this weird dream that nothing was working, and now all of a
You're
sudden.
right. Nothing is working.
Oh man, well here I am. Well, hey,
Can you?
everybody.
Can you?
I'm
Oh,
on your
oh,
tablet.
hang on.
What? Oh,
Hang on. Let me make you. Where's the.
by the way, is my audio level good? Do I need to go up, down?
I think it's good. Can everybody see Dom on the?
Hello,
Can
everybody.
everybody?
I'm stuck in the tablet.
You're
Hey,
stuck
I'm
in the
stuck in
tablet.
the tablet.
You're stuck in the
I can't
tablet.
move. There's not enough room in here.
Now this is what you call professional organisation.
This is the production level is absolutely top notch here on Hookster TV. We are not on a budget at all. Will F1 Gaming says Jesus Christ in the chat. Oh man. Well, hey, listen. You say Jesus Christ there, Will F1, but Hookster is Jesus. That's what he's been telling everybody. So yeah, welcome to Hookster Talks. It's nice to be on, maybe although unconventionally, but yes, I am on Hookster Talks, and I am here to give some controversial hot takes about the Australian Grand Prix. So I see in your title, Dave, you have top 3 predictions. Oh, like I get it, like top 3 predictions, as in who you think is going to finish top 3.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. Here's my top 3, okay? I'm going to say in third place, George Russell. Second place, Fernando Alonso. And in first place, of course, it's going to be Sergio Perez.
Ooh.
And now everybody in the chat is probably thinking, oh, no, what are you talking about? What about Maxi? What about Maxi boy? I'm predicting something. I'm predicting that throughout Max Verstappen's career, the Australian Grand Prix will be the white rabbit of his career. He hasn't won there yet, and I think there's going to be almost like a Max Verstappen Australia curse. I think that, I just think it's going to be one of those weird things where he won't win an Australian Grand Prix. Maybe not. It's like kind of like how Dale Earnhardt didn't win Daytona for like the longest time until like the later half of his career, right? So, B&L Bessie says, nice quality. I'm watching this stream back. Yeah, this is top production, Dave. I love this. This is great. But yeah, that's my prediction, Dave. I think something's going to happen to Max Verstappen, whether it's like a lap 1 incident or another qualifying mishap, or I don't know. I just have this weird feeling that Max Verstappen is not going to have a good weekend, just solely based on the fact that he hasn't won this Grand Prix in the past. I think it's going to, if anything, I'm going to say Fernando Alonso has a better shot than Max Verstappen. That's my hot take. That's my steaming hot take. Maddie7657 in the chat says there's a lot of pressure on the Ferrari to deliver from the Italian press, and I couldn't agree more. The Scuderia, they could be the second best team on the grid, but they're throwing it away to Aston Martin right now. And I think, well, right now they're competing with Mercedes, absolutely. But I think if Ferrari just step up their game a little bit, they can surpass both Aston Martin and Mercedes for that number 2 spot. What else are my bold predictions? Oh yeah, a double DNF for McLaren. I think their garbage is. I mean, I think their drive is garbage this year, and I feel bad for Oscar Piastri because this is going to be his first home Grand Prix. But I mean, that McLaren, yikes! Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. I hope it's a rain race. I think if it's a weather race, it should be fun. But feel free to interject, Dave, if you have anything to say on top of what. Yeah.
I would do, but my arm's dropping off holding up this tablet.
Well, yeah, you're holding up all 170 pounds of me. That's why.
I know. You're quite heavy, aren't you?
No, keep holding me up, Dave. I mean, the viewers want to see me, right?
I must admit, though, I like this because I can tickle you now. Look.
No, stop it, Dave. Oh, God, Jesus. Oh, man. Let's see, any more comment? Did I? Will F1 Gaming's prediction is Verstappen first, second is Charles Leclerc, and third is going to be Alonso. Yeah, a lot of people are sticking with Alonso this season to finish on podium positions. But I just watched the playback of you tickling me on stream, and it was pretty accurate.
Good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good. I almost want to clip that. Yeah, I'm gonna clip that actually.
Yeah, clip that.
It's actually fucking hilarious. Okay, let's see. 16.
Hey, Dom, can I stroke your hair?
Oh, yeah, you may. Here, let me get a little closer for you, Dave. There you
go.
Oh. Hold on. Oh, okay, there we go.
Oh,
yeah, it feels real good, Dave. It feels real good.
Now, this is quality entertainment, isn't it? This is quality, I'll tell you.
This is the pinnacle of, yeah.
It's the pinnacle of my career, I think.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. Add a title. Dom getting tickled by Dave. And share. How do I share this clip? Oh, okay. Hold on. What channel is this on? Just copy. Oh, maybe I can put it in the chat.
Yeah, it should be.
Okay, there we go. I'm gonna just click on it to make sure. Why can't I? Let me know in the comments if that link that I just posted in the chat works.
Yeah, okay. I can't see the comments because I'm holding the tablet out.
All right. But anyways, what are your predictions, Dave, for the podium here at the Australian Grand Prix?
Well, I'm gonna say Max first position. I'm going to say George Russell second place.
Oh, George Russell second.
And I'm going to and I'm going to say Fernando Alonso in third. There you go.
Yeah. I think that's the consensus everybody's coming to, is that Fernando will get on the podium. And,
absolutely.
I mean, it's been a very solid prediction. I mean, he's been driving great. The Aston Martin's great this year, so yeah, really happy for him this year. It's going to be interesting to see where he is in the standings later in the season. We're going to find out if it's all been a fluke or not. I think not even the halfway, I think a third of the way into the season we'll get a really good picture of where Fernando Alonso is and where to expect him to finish in the standings. But so far, so great for Fernando Alonso. But yeah, that's that's all I have to say, Dave.
Good. It was worth waiting for. wasn't it?
Yeah, thank you for having me on. Yeah, thanks for holding me up and stroking my hair. Oh God, I hope is my door closed? Okay. Oh boy. But yeah. I see you touching me and stroking my hair.
Steady now, steady.
Yeah. I don't want to get you demonetized. So, anyways, everybody, thanks for having me on, and Dave, thank you for having me on through the technical difficulties.
We won't worry about technical difficulties because I can still make it work. There you go. That wasn't bad, was it? That wasn't bad.
That's right. We don't quit.
That's right. Up yours, Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Maddie in the chat says his predictions are Verstappen in first, Sergio Perez in second, and Charles in third. I think I would put George Russell in third instead of Leclerc, but if Ferrari have a good weekend, I think you're right, Maddie. I think if Ferrari have a good weekend and a good qualifying, that's where he's going to end up. But anyways, Dave, thanks so much for having me on Hookster Talks.
No problem.
And I think qualifying is actually on in 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, like 9 or 10 hours or something.
Yeah, it must be about that because it's Australia. Put another shrimp under Barbie.
All right. Catch you
later. Bye-bye. Wow, we overcame. That is definitely a WTF1 quality thing there. But I hope you could hear Dom. I think you could. I was watching the mic level and it was definitely going up high enough, I think, for you to have heard him. So there you go. Wow, let's go back to the comments. I'm quite impressed with that, to be honest. Stupid Facebook. Will F1 says, Jesus Christ. Professional organisation. I know, Will, but I sorted it in the end. I hope you're happy with that. Look at that 180p quality. Yeah, it was pretty bad, wasn't it? But there you go. Dom is stuck on a tablet screen because of Latifi of the week. Will says, first Verstappen, second Leclerc, third Alonso. What about the Scuderia Ferrari? Planet Places is nice quality. Thank you, everyone. Yes, it was great, wasn't it? There's a lot of pressure on Ferrari to deliver from the Italian press. Yes, there is. Only twice in Alonso's career has he finished on the podium in all first 3 races of the season. And Matthew says, first Verstappen, second Perez, third Leclerc. Okay, well, I'd just like to say thanks everyone for watching tonight. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties, but we did manage to get around them. Yes, we did. This does happen occasionally with Facebook because that's what I use to ring everybody. And occasionally Facebook doesn't want to play ball and won't do the video chat. Usually when I reset the computer, everything works fine. But even when I do that, sometimes it comes up with that error message which says it won't work. I've never been able to work out what that message is because as soon as you restart the computer, it'll probably work fine again. So I don't even bother with it. But anyway, that's enough of me waffling. Thanks everyone. You have been awesome as always. Enjoy the Grand Prix. Hopefully it'll be a good one and we'll have lots of crashes because that's what we need. No injuries, just lots of crashes. That's what we need. And it'll be a fine race at Australia. So thanks to everyone in the chat. Thanks to Matthew, Will F1, Plynor Plessy, Drum Tentacles was in there as well. Brianna Perez was in there. Thanks to Brianna. Scott Barnes, of course. Drum Tank. Mr. Iron Patriot was in there as well. I think I've said Brianna. I'm not Scott. Just Jamie was in there. There you go. And it won't let me scroll up any further than that. So there you go. Thanks to everyone. You have been awesome as always. And I will catch you in the next video. For me and Mr. TB. Let's say goodbye from TB. Otherwise everyone will get upset. Where's TB? Where's TB? Here he is. TB the bear. TB the bear. Yes. Everyone's favourite bear. Da, 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 da. Thanks everyone. And I will catch you